What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me as always. It is time to get this money. As always, utilize all of the tools available to you at greenlightdfs.com. Ranking tool, NRFI tool, no run first inning tool has still been smashing. Continue using that. My alarm is going off right now. My bad. But at the end of the day, so many tools at greenlightdfs.com that you got to utilize. Make sure you do that. It has been they have been fantastic. Super proud about that. But let's go ahead and get straight into this high five and have a big Friday, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we go. Starting off in the high five, first pitcher that I gotta go with. Look, at the end of the day, whether there's a game in Coors, whether there's not, whatever, I'm always looking to get my pitching right and then figure the rest out. After I get the pitching right, then I kind of figure out where I can save in the bats and so on and so forth. I don't try to save too often when it comes to pitchers. With that being said, Garrett Cole has the highest upside of any pitcher on this slate. There's some really good pitching options on this slate for sure with Burns, McClanahan, Cole. These guys are like stud pitchers. They're going to end up being solid. But for me, Garrett Cole is the best option here going against a bad Detroit offense. Yes, he's 10-9, but I really don't care. I'll find a way to get value where I need it. Garrett Cole's the guy that I'm going to go with. As you can see, I haven't projected much higher than anyone else. All right. Next up at 8K, Nathan Iavaldi. Iavaldi's a good option here going against a bad Oakland offense. Oakland is just a not very good offense this year. Iavaldi is a solid overall pitcher. He's 8K, so he gets you kind of one of the better pitcher options on this slate at a decent-ish price. You're still having to pay. I mean, you're not getting him at 7K or below here. If you want to save off of Iavaldi, Kikuchi pops pretty well for me, and Eflin pops pretty well for me. I'd prefer Kikuchi because Eflin's got the tougher matchup against the Angels. But Kikuchi going against Minnesota is an option that you could go with as well if you need to save 1,500. But I'm going Iavaldi. Like I said, I'm not trying to save at pitcher. I'm trying to go with my most solid, safe feeling options, and then figure out what I'm going to do at bats. All right. At the core, Matt Olson. I mean, you got to. I mean, the games in Coors. Now, here's the deal. There's a few options that I really like here. All right, there is a game in Coors, which immediately tells you that it is going to be uber chalk. Not only the situation here is not only is there a game in Coors, but Coors is a 11 over under, whereas the next highest is Toronto, Minnesota at 9.5. Like it's a huge discrepancy, a huge difference. Now Vegas hasn't dropped Philly's line yet. I think Philly is a sneaky spot today, and we'll talk about that a little bit here, but Philly's a sneaky spot here going against Silseth in a good solid matchup with a guy who gives up a ton of power to lefties, and there's some dangerous lefties on Philly. So I think Philly's total could end up being pretty high as well. But for now, um, at the end of the day, you have to pick the spots like when there's a game like this in Coors and it's a good spot in general. Like this isn't a bad spot period. Like all the boxes are checked here for Atlanta, Colorado. You're going to want some exposure to this game. Atlanta side especially against Cool. All right? So, Matt Olson at first base is definitely the guy that I want at first base. At second base, I'm going to go Garrett Hampson. Oh, sorry, not Hampson. Rogers. Brendan Rogers is the guy that I want at second base. Rogers is hitting a 272 ISO versus left-handed pitching. Fried is a good pitcher, but at the end of the day, this game is in Coors, and at 3.9, Rogers is a very good price being in Coors. So I really like Rogers as an option today. Second base just isn't the best position, anyways. I mean, unless you're spending up over 5K for Ozzy Albies. Ozzy Albies is the same price as Ronald Acuna tonight. So, I mean, it just seems like the pricing's a little elevated there. I'd prefer to just take the core side there with Brendan Rodgers or Hampson at second base. I'm going to side Brendan Rodgers because the power that he could, end up going off with. Really like Brendan Rodgers. Last but not least, I'm going another Brave, but then we're going to talk about the other options that I like. Acuna is just my favorite overall bat on the entire slate. Marcelo Zuna pops for me. Joey Gallo pops for me. Adam Duvall pops for me. All these guys are popping for me today. A guy I want to talk about is Kyle Schwarber. I talked about Silseth versus power lefties. This is a dangerous spot for him here in Philly against Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber, Harper, all these guys are fantastic options. Now here's the problem. Acuna's 5'2", whereas going Harper is 5'5". Kyle Schwarber's 4.7. Like, it is super close price tag between Schwarber and Acuna. And Acuna is one of the best bats in the entire major leagues, and he's in cores against a bad pitcher. That's where the tough position comes in. Now, at the end of the day, if you want a GPP takedown, the way to go today would be to fade Atlanta. And just hope for the best. I mean, it's a dangerous strategy, but fading some of this Atlanta and going one of these other teams, like maybe stacking Philly instead of Atlanta, or so on and so forth. Now, you're having to pay a good amount of money to stack Philly, though, so that's why it's a tough decision. But if you do, or you say, you know what, everybody's on Atlanta, I'm going to go ahead and stack up Colorado on this one. All right, then that's a fine strategy as well. At the end of the day, it's just all about making the right decision on who to stack when it comes to GPP. Everybody's going to be on Atlanta. It is the obvious choice. That is where everyone's going to be in cash games. I don't think you should be too cute with things. I do encourage you to get different, a few spots, 2 to 3 spots or so, because at the end of the day, this is baseball, man. Baseball, it's never great to bite chalk. I mean, if you can get off of a guy for another amazing guy, then you should. Okay, like for example, let's say you're building your lineup, right? You look at first base. There's another guy right here at this price tag that I absolutely love just as much as Matt Olson, and he will be extremely lower owned. Matt Olson is 4.7. Vladimir Guerrero's 4.3. It opens up $400. Vladimir Guerrero is in a fantastic position today. He's another guy that I love today who will be much lower owned than Matt Olson and has double dong upside, regardless of where he's at. He's not in cores, but so what? It's a fantastic spot there. All right, so Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a fantastic pivot off of a Matt Olson high owned type of player. You know what I mean? And that's the type of way that you need to get different here today, is ways like that. All right? But anyways, Garrett Cole, Nathan Iavaldi, Matt Olson, or Vladimir Guerrero, Brendan Rodgers, and Ronald Acuna Jr., or like a Schwarber for GPPs, is the high five today. Good luck, everybody. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. We have so many tools. Go take advantage of those. Let's just have an amazing Friday and have an amazing weekend. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Y'all stay safe. Peace.